morning, Roxy Kids Club and Wallen Gateway Children and Tots. Today we are looking at Saul, who's now Paul. Let's find out what's happening on his journey of being closer to God.
As we heard from Eva, Paul's life was really changed after that encounter with Jesus on the way to Damascus. It was all different now. He loved Jesus and he wanted to tell everybody about Jesus. He wanted to support the Christians rather than put them in prison or even kill them. So now his ministry really started. He started to write letters to all the churches that were starting to pop up all around Jerusalem and quite far away because Christians moved away because they were so scared. And then he started to do trips. Often Paul would take friends with him. We hear of one called Barnabas, another one called Silas, then there was one called Timothy. Some of them, like Timothy, have even written books that we can see in the Bible now. So let's hear two stories of where Paul travelled with Barnabas and one where he travelled with Silas.
Slapstick Theater. Paul and Barnabas. This is Paul, who once hated the followers of Jesus and would do anything he could to stop them from telling others about the good news of Jesus. But Paul met Jesus in a miraculous way, and his life was changed forever.
Wow!
He went from hunting down the followers of Jesus to being one of them himself.
Yeah! All right!
When Paul was in Jerusalem, he tried to meet with the believers there,
Oh, that guy's way up!
but they were all afraid of him.
Oh, man.
They did not believe he had truly become a follower of Jesus.
Yeah, Paul, follow me.
Then a man named Barnabas brought him to the apostles and told them about how Paul had seen the Lord and how the Lord had spoken to Paul.
Yeah, it's true.
He also told them that Paul had preached boldly in the name of Jesus in Damascus.
Okay.
So Paul stayed in Jerusalem with the followers of Jesus. He told many people about Jesus, and they came to follow Jesus too. Paul and Barnabas went to do special work for God.
Yeah!
They preached the good news about Jesus in many places until they both went separate ways to tell others about Jesus. Slapstick Theater. Paul and Silas. This is Paul,
Hey!
who told people about Jesus in lots of different places. One day, Paul was walking with his friend Silas.
Hey, yo!
They were being followed by a girl who was controlled by an evil spirit. Her owners used her to make money. After days and days of this happening, Paul got so annoyed that he turned around and told the evil spirit to leave her. So the girl was freed.
Woohoo!
But her owners got mad at Paul and Silas because they wouldn't make any money off of her anymore. And they had them thrown in jail. The jailer locked them up.
Oh, man.
Around midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing to God, and the other prisoners were listening. Suddenly, there was an earthquake, and the chains of all the prisoners fell off.
Oh, what just happened?
But Paul and Silas didn't leave, even though they could have. Several people decided to follow Jesus that night, including the jailer and his whole family. And the next morning, they were released from jail, and the city officials even apologized to them.
Sorry about that.
Paul and Silas encouraged the Christians in the town, and they continued on their mission to tell people about Jesus.
See ya!
The memory verse for the week is from one of the many letters that Paul the Apostle wrote. It is from 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 15, which says, "Make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else."
taught us so much, and our memory verse tells us so much too. So some of the leaders are going to tell you now what it teaches them.
Not paying back wrong for me means working on not holding grudges against other people.
Not paying back wrong with wrong means for me to say nice things about someone even if they might be saying mean things behind my back.
Not paying back wrong for wrong means to me that if someone does something nasty to you, you still be nice to them.
For me, not paying back wrong for wrong means not holding on to bad thoughts about people, even though they might have hurt me.
Not paying back wrong for me means working on forgiving other people.
Hi kids, for me, not paying back wrong with wrong means when I am teased or bullied, I do not tease or bully back, but I ask God to forgive those who have hurt me like that.
Paul was really unstoppable. The love for Jesus had changed his life so much. So in travelling, Paul certainly couldn't just hop into the car and drive up the freeway, or buy a plane ticket and fly off to the next church. He walked for miles and miles, and sometimes he even took a boat on the Mediterranean Sea. So today we are going to make a boat. I'm going to show you one version of a boat where you can make an origami boat. First, you need an A4 sheet of paper, just a normal white paper, and you fold that in half and make a nice crease in the middle. And then you make another fold, and this crease is only to give you the middle. Then you take the closed corners and fold them to that creased line, both of them on both sides. Now you have a bit of a mountain looking thing, and the flaps at the bottom are open so that you can fold them up. And now it looks like a hat. On that hat you're going to fold the triangles that stick out the side over the edge and then tuck them away nicely on the other side as well. Just fold them over the edge and tuck them away nicely. Now you can open up that triangle and then lay it flat that you have a square. The bottom parts can be opened and you fold those triangles back up again. So now you have quite a compact triangle with flaps towards the top, and at the bottom you can open it. So you open that up again, you end up with another square. And here is like a flower opening. You can pull those side bits down, out, and squash it all flat. And here you've got your boat. Now you can make one of those boats, or you can make it out of sticks or ice cream containers or whatever you like. The important criteria is that it has to float. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you've created, and you get to see what you've done last week.
Thank you so much for Reggie and Tessa for doing those activities and the Bible verses. So this week, the years 3 to 6 go back to school, and so do the years 7 to 9. So if you're feeling a bit anxious and worried, that's totally fine. It's been a really long time that you haven't been at school. So if you feel anxious or worried, just say a quick prayer. Say, Lord, help me feel calm and peaceful, and He will absolutely be with you. So if you do feel all those unusual feelings, remember, talk to your parents or talk to someone else, like a grandparent, and they'll be able to pray for you. So from me to you, I wish you the best next week back at school, and I pray that you have an awesome time, and it'd be great to catch up with your friends. And I'm sure your teachers miss you too. All right, until next time, bye.